Stephen Garvey, leader, founder of National Citizens Alliance, NCA, PM candidate 2019. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the World Government Summit, which recently occurred from February 8th to February 12th in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. This is another layer of the globalist UN agenda, and it'll give you really interesting insight. And there was a Canadian there attending who apparently is a member of the World Government Summit, so that will be a real surprise to you when I disclose that. But I'm going to go into the summit so you understand what it's about, and you'll see that it's all connected to UN Agenda 21, UN Agenda 2030, this global world order, global one currency, and also global currency, single currency, global citizenry. It's all connected into that. So I'm going to shed light on that and show how it connects to Canada. And then I'm going to talk about our UN policy. And the first thing, I'm going to go straight into this. So this is the main website of the World Government Summit. And like I said, it took place in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So on February 8th, I'm going to look at the agenda now. So the OECD, there was a meeting there that took place on February 8th. And Canada is actually a member of the OECD, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. There was an ethics roundtable with UNESCO, which Canada funds in the millions, which is part of the UN. And look at this, Global Data Commons International Task Force on data. Global data on humanity going on. And note, these were all closed roundtable, closed, not open to the public, in secrecy on February 8th. If we look at February 9th, again, OECD, which Canada is a member of, closed roundtable. They had an opening session. And then we're going into here. Intensive program to build the capacity for public servants in developing countries in partnership with the World Bank. The World Bank. We're going to come back to the World Bank. And then I'm going to scroll down here. Notice these are all closed roundtable, closed roundtable. That's all in secrecy. And look at this, closed roundtable, quote, high-level discussion, shifting service models, exploring the challenges with delivering citizen-centric services. Closed roundtable. Look at this, main announcement of the SDG initiative. And these are the Sustainable Development Goals under Agenda 2030, which the globalist conservatives under Harper signed us onto. They did not consult the Canadian people. They did it in secrecy, pretending to support Canadians and Canadian nationalism. Meanwhile, they were pursuing a globalist agenda like TPP, no different than what Bernier does. He was part of that. So we're going to get back to this again. And here, another one, successful practices and sustainable development goals of Agenda 2030. And this is in the OECD, which Canada is a member of. Closed roundtable, citizen-centric digital world, government service, the future of government they're talking about. Another closed roundtable. Look at this here. Enablers for achieving Agenda 2030, which, thank you, Harper, you signed us onto, you globalist. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Keynote speech, well-being, and the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. World Bank Capacity Building Program, another closed roundtable in secrecy. Let's go down further here. Again, another partnership with the World Bank, which is connected to the bank, international banking cabal. Development debt management strategies, etc. SDGs, Global Council's discussion session, Sustainable Development Goals, Global Council's discussion session. Council on Extended Intelligence. They're talking about coordination between fiscal and monetary policies. Look at this, Shaping Future Governments, Global Universities Challenge. Okay, so now we're going to shift to the February 10th. And this is, look at this right here. Climate change and public health. Right there. And that's along with Agenda 2030, Agenda 21. Global AI Governance Roundtable. And this is a closed roundtable, Global AI. And another Governance AI Roundtable. It's closed. Globalization 4.0. This is right aligned to Davos 2019 and the globalist agenda there. Evolution of leaders. Launching global happiness and well-being. All the fuzzy language there. How to respond to new challenges of, quote, global governance. Right there. How do we fight radicalism? By creating hope. And how do they define radicalism? Anyone who's opposed to their agenda? The future of digital policy with Google, one of the globalist corporations. High-level panel on the implementation of the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. The role of a woman in rebuilding nations. Blockchain and the future of trade. Global trade, future foresight analysis for governments. Designing the cities of tomorrow in partnership with MasterCard. Can you believe that? In charge with MasterCard. So this one, new social epidemics, whatever these epidemics are. Again, more SDGs, Global Council chairs. That's a closed roundtable. Outlook on the future of the global economy. Global Gender Circle, impact and results of adopting gender-friendly policies. It's a closed roundtable. The road to digital economy, the role of blockchain in partnership with the IMF. And this is all about a digital currency, a single currency for the world. Blockchains and crypto assets. Again, this is linked to a digital currency for the world. Global Gender Circle, the impacts and results of implementing gender-friendly police, closed roundtable. How consciousness can transform education. Historic look at identity and politics. The future of government communications, on and on. I'm going to go up to the final day here. An urgent call for action on climate change, right in line with the UN Agenda 2030 and 21. Rethinking culture and its future. Designing a global city for global citizens. Designing a global city for global citizens. And that's almost the end game right there. Future of cities, sustainability and social fabric. And there we go. So I'm going to shift now. We're going to look into the leadership. Who's behind this? So here's the gentleman, Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, who's funding this and organizing it. And there's his other leaders behind it. And then we're going to go into the partners here to dig a little deeper. We want to know who these partners are. So we got strategic partners here, and to no surprise, the United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Health Organization, World Bank Group, OECD, which Canada is a member of, World Economic Forum, i.e. Davos, World Trade Organization, World Intellectual Property Organization, Arab Monetary Fund, and these other ones. And then we go down to headline partners. These are more local partners. Global Trade Partner, DP World. Leading partner right there. Feature partners, Global International. And these are support partners. Emirates, looks like the airline. And then we go further down. More support partners. Contributing members, MasterCard, knowledge partners right here. These are a bunch of accounting firms. And then we got media partners. The New York Times, CNN, Sky News, Euronews, CNBC, etc., etc. Now I'm going to take a look at some of the speakers here, and some of this will probably really surprise you. I'm only going to look at a few of them here. This is one of the speakers, Masa Khoury. He's head of Sharia. He was one of the speakers at this. And then we got Harrison Ford. He was there speaking on the need for climate change. A Hollywood influence on the event. And then we got globalist Kevin O'Leary was there, one of the members of the World Government Summit. And he's a member of the Globalist Conservative Party. He ran for the conservative leadership, and he ended up supporting globalist Bernie, and he's close friends with Bernie, and he was there. Can you believe that? He was there schmoozing with these globalists. There it is for you to see. So I hope that gives you an idea of this summit. It's all connected to Davos 2019, other Davos. It's connected to the G7, G20. It's connected to these globalist trade deals, which all these globalists in Ottawa support, starting with TPP, FIPA. They want to do globalist trade with China and India. And this is all about government, globalists, super wealthy, and middle people. It has nothing to do with the well-being of the Canadian people. It's also connected to the UN Parliamentary Assembly, UN Agenda 21, UN Agenda 2030, which is being implemented in Canada. I think what's really troubling about this World Government Summit, they're talking about surveillance on all Canadian people, and this is through AI, 5G, and other surveillance, which is really troubling. They're talking about a digital currency, more globalist trade, more global citizenry, one religion, and basically a one world government. That's what this is all about. It's very disturbing, and it's just another layer to what's going on. This is not made up. You could see the forces behind this. It's pretty much the same partners. All these UN, IMF, World Bank, they're all in on it. So this is just another layer of the globalist agenda that's being imposed on the Canadian people. But mistake not, this issue is not exclusive to Trudeau and the Liberals. All these globalists in Ottawa, especially the sneaky globalist conservatives, have been pushing this for decades. And do not be fooled by globalist Bernier, who supports TPP and globalist trade with India, China. He supports a globalist UN Agenda 2030, Agenda 2021. And I couldn't believe it. We had some of these so-called conservatives on our page today they didn't even know what Agenda 2030 is. They didn't even know what it is. That's how misinformed many Canadians are. It's very disturbing. So make sure you share this message to try and wake up these Canadians. They've been completely misinformed. They're indoctrinated. The Harpers of the world have completely deceived them, taken them for a ride. And those are the facts. So NCA stands in full grassroots, uncontrolled opposition. We are anti-globalist, pro-Canadian, Canada first, without question. And I'm just going to touch on our UN policy to be very clear. I should add here, this is for all the globalist conservatives out there because they're in denial. It was in September 2015, Canada signed, the Harper regime signed Canada onto Agenda 2030, right here. And this is a 15-year global framework centered on 17 so-called sustainable development goals, 169 targets, and over 230 indicators. This agenda is being implemented by all levels of government in Canada. The Canadian people have never been consulted. So we say, wake up, get informed. These are the facts right here. Do not get fooled by the left, right, liberal, conservative, or fake opposition in Ottawa. Do not get fooled. They're all in on this together. This is the UN, the NCA UN policy at nationalcitizensalliance.ca. And we are committed to withdrawing Canada from UN Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and of course the UN Migration Pact, which is just an offshoot of these big agendas. We will also cease all voluntary funding to the United Nations and its affiliates. And we will support a national binding referendum on complete withdrawal from the UN if that's what the Canadian will. We will redirect all savings from reduced expenditure on the United Nations to paying off the growing federal debt, which is now over $667 billion and growing. So I hope this helps you tonight. The World Government Summit is just another layer of the globalist agenda being imposed on the Canadian people. All these career establishment politicians in Ottawa are connected, supported of this agenda, without question. Without question. The globalist mainstream media is complicit in it. You will never hear this in the globalist mainstream media. I was reading the mainstream media, the National Post. I couldn't believe what I was reading. It was all just spin. It was misinformation, and it was complete deceit of the Canadian people. So please question the sources of your media. Do not get brainwashed. You know, our purpose is to give you the facts so you and your family can make the best decisions going forward. And we encourage you to share this message. Help wake up more Canadians. This globalist UN agenda is real, as this World Government Summit shows. So please share the message. We can defeat what's going on. We can defeat the globalists in Ottawa. All it requires is the waking up of the Canadian people and getting behind NCA. And then we will turn this country around. Right now, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. We are headed for the transformation of Canada into a UN globalist-like village, without question. We're all going to be controlled and dictated to if we don't start draining these globalist sellouts out of Ottawa and putting NCA in there. It's going to happen. Our traditional population of Anglophone, Francophone, other Euro-Canadians, First Nations, Inuit, Métis are being replaced by immigrants from the developing world, without question. The demographic data is there. The mass immigration, which is part of UN Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, needs to end right away, and that's something NCA supports. Please take these issues seriously. Do not get fooled by the globalist conservatives who try to make it all about Trudeau. Read the book, Canada in Decay, and that will bring you up to speed on what's going on. And this is by Professor Duchesne out of the University of New Brunswick. And he's done a really good factual analysis since pre-Confederation up to Justin Trudeau. Do not get fooled by these globalist conservatives. I believe they are worse because they're more sneaky and deceitful than the liberals. And they all have the same agenda. And that includes globalist Bernie, who's friends with O'Leary, who was at the World Government Summit, and who supports globalist TPP and these other globalist trade deals. That's all you need to know. These are globalists pretending, in the case of Bernie, he's pretending not to be. Do not get fooled. Do not get fooled. And we encourage you to join NCA. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the weekend.